Hi, and good afternoon. I'm Dimitri White, and what comes to mind when you think of Ireland? For some, it may be the annual holiday that paints the day green. Some might think leprechauns, and maybe even the word gold comes to mind. Whatever you thought you knew is only a small piece of Ireland's many chapters. To start off the many chapters in the rich Irish culture, it seems fitting to start off with the capital of Dublin. Dublin is located on the east coast of Ireland and is home to around 52,000 people, making it Ireland's biggest city. Dublin is located in the province of Leicester. As the Irish people always say, may you always have a clean shirt, a clean conscience, and enough coins in your pocket to buy a pint. I'd love to visit this city through its rich history and culture because of the great references and stories I've encountered through the people I've met. For one being my grandmother, who visits once every couple years and till this day says it's one of her favorite places to see. From lush green grasslands and beautiful rocky cliffs, Dublin sounds like the perfect getaway from the dry desert heat. Dublin is the country's main port for imports and exports, making it the heart and soul of most of the economics. It is also a city of contrast, maintaining an uneasy relationship between the remainder of early political and economic conditions and symbols of present-day life and prosperity. It is said to be rumored that violent acts of extremism still occur in tense parts of the region, but don't worry. Countless reports say that Dublin is and the reigning cities in Ireland are tourist-friendly compared to other European cities. One of the key reasons I would like to visit is to see where my roots come from. I've always been called my grandmother's little potato, referring to the Irish's love for potatoes. It would be nice to see and visit and get to know the culture and the language of Gaelic, which is seen as more of a second language to the natives. English is the primary language for the Irish, and this is important because at least the people will be able to understand you when you go there, and it seems like a great vacation spot for tourists. The city remarkably can be traced back to about 1,000 years for its roots. Dublin has undergone plenty of cultural changes in its history, from Viking trading ports to English royalty control over the entire island, to modern-day culture. A fantastic landmark to see while in Dublin is the Dublin Castle. As one of Dublin's most important historical sites, this 13th century castle has served many purposes as a set for the royal power, a fortress, a prison, and much more. The city of Dublin actually derives its name from the black pool of its grounds called Dublin in Gaelic. Today, the castle is a frequently visited tourist attraction. Another great place to see is St. Patrick's Cathedral, which was built in honor of the saint patron. St. Patrick's Cathedral was built on top of the site where it was rumored that St. Patrick would baptize new converts to Catholicism or Christianity. With over 200 religious relics within its walls, it traces Ireland's religion past through hundreds of years. Also is a stunning architectural site with vibrant glass-stained windows, impressive altar, and a cathedral tower. Also, the last key landmark to visit is the National Museum of Ireland. The museum features a total of 4 branches, which 3 are located in Dublin: the Archaeology Center, the Decorative Arts Center, and then the History Center. And they're all in walking distance from each other, so it's definitely a place to spend the day at to see. It's important to understand how Dublin got to be that way it is. To do that, we must understand Dublin's long reign underneath English control. And it basically goes back to when England threw away Catholicism and basically said Church of England was going to be the religion. And the Irish really did not like that. And then in 1641, the Irish fought off Scottish and English settlers in Northern Ireland. And then jumping to 1918, the Irish political party named Sinn Féin proposed for Ireland to be a free state, but instead of running their election through the UK like they were supposed to, they decided for a private election for just Irish people. And over dramatically, votes were in, and they wanted to be a free state. So this caused a lot of tension, kind of like the U.S. Civil War with the Loyalists and the Patriots. Some people wanted to stay loyal and others didn't. This caused civil war between the South and the North. And then eventually, in 1937, a proposition came and Ireland wanted to be a free state, but, still fighting and everything. And finally, that proposition came back true, and Britain recognized it. But it wasn't until 1998 there was a Good Friday Agreement to where the IRA, which was the kind of southern rebels who wanted total freedom, and then the more Protestant North were still fighting day in day out for 3 decades almost. So finally, with that Good Friday Agreement, a lot of the tension eased, but there is still high tension in that region. And as you can see, the country and city were shaped by a lot of bloodshed and determination for their independence. And to this day, you can see the character of the city where some of the damage is still left behind from the fighting, especially in Northern Ireland, where there are still walls separating Catholics and Protestants. The city of Dublin is truly the heart of Ireland, having great views and countless pubs and historical sites to see, from old architecture to the realism of the landscape. There's many sights and places to see, to entertain and excite, from the local pubs to the National Museum of Ireland. To find out more on the history of Irish independence from British rule, I would definitely recommend the Irish Museum. And in fact, they say in the culture there is a pub for every 100 people. So thank you. I hope you enjoyed this informative speech on Ireland, and take care.